Hi there, I'm Annette Satterfield and this is my studio. I'm really glad you're here. And this is a quick follow-up to my previous studio letter where I talked about the idea of using watercolor in mixed media, which is not so easy sometimes because a lot of times the surface of mixed media just doesn't accept watercolor. But I've been experimenting with that. And in that letter, a lot of you commented on, you saw this little fellow here, and this is the larger work in progress. But this little fellow, he is indeed watercolor on top of acrylic paint. And I'm doing that by using something called Watercolor Ground. And this comes, the one I'm using currently is Daniel Smith brand Watercolor Ground. I've also experimented with making my own, and it's a very simple recipe. It's about half and half gesso, white gesso, and white texture paste. I've done both. They both work about the same. One advantage to the ground, the purchase ground, is it is consistent. It's the same every time. I tend to mix up a batch every time I use it. I just kind of mix it on my palette and mix it up. So it's not as consistent, but it works remarkably similarly. And the reason I like doing this is because, as you can see in this little drawing, you can see how it's retained some of the beauty of watercolor, which is the shading and the way the paint wants to mix and interact with the ground. And that's something that really only watercolor can do. Plus that translucence that you get with watercolor, and you really only get with watercolor. So I have found that the ground is working really well. This is an experiment for me. I'm still learning a lot here, and I just wanted to share that little studio tidbit with you. And again, thanks for stopping by. I'm so glad, and I hope to see you next time.